Um, I recently watched an 18-hour documentary series that I had actually not seen before, even though I've been a bit of a New York history buff for a long time. But Rick Burns and PBS had done a pretty authoritative, like I said, 18-hour documentary series that ended up being 7 episodes on the history of New York City, going back to the 16th century. And then they added an eighth episode all about the Trade Center. The documentary series initially aired on PBS in 1999, but they ended up adding an eighth episode in the aftermath of the 9/11 attack on the Trade Center. And I learned a bit more on the history of it than I knew before. But I think a lot of people know, that it was officially sort of dedicated and opened, 1973, but it began construction in 66. But there was a kind of vision for a sort of renaissance downtown in the heart of our financial district, a kind of urban renewal objective involved an awful lot of moving parts, and there's a really vast story in the architecture, construction, the politics of it, whatever. I won't get into all of that now, but the aftermath of the trade center's construction, it did result in a real significant home for many of our great financial companies, and not just in the two twin towers north and south, but in some of the adjacent buildings that were part of the World Trade Center ecosystem.